Greetings and salutations, everybody watching this video. Thank you for clicking on it. Thank you. Today I'm gonna do my after build thoughts. The dislikes is that, okay, so the input gear for the differential, it has this like weird looking pin. It's very difficult to put on. I don't know why Team Associated insists on making the input gears difficult. Period. In the B64, you had to get an E-clip inside of a beveled gear. So like the gear was like this, and the teeth are out here, and you had to get the input, you had to get the E-clip down here, which clipped into the drive shaft, right? So you had to slide the E-clip down the side and try to get it onto the input shaft that's coming through here. Very difficult. I said on the building videos to stretch it out a little bit before you start, before you actually try to put it on. Those little spreaders are definitely necessary to put it on. I couldn't have done it without it, so definitely grab yourself a pair of those. So I will be switching those out with what they call a lock ring, which is what those spreader pliers are for. You stick them in, you spread it open, and then you put it on the thing that you're trying to clip. Let it go, it clips on, bada bing, bada boom, you're done. Another small thing, the knuckles in here, the steering blocks. The steering blocks and the caster blocks are very hard to put together. Like unnecessarily hard. I don't know why Associated made them so difficult to fit together, but they are. That I'm still not a huge fan of all this plastic, I will admit. So, I don't know, maybe someday down the road I will pick up a J-Concepts battery strap. They make an aluminum cover. Maybe I'll pick that up, and maybe something up here, because I just don't like all this plastic. Things that I did like about it is that there are dog bones here and here. Both the front and rear have dog bones, which is like super nice, because the 44 had a CV joint. Occasionally you had to check the pins that put the CV joint together. There's a pin that goes through everything that keeps it all together, and if that pin comes out, then the whole drive shaft comes apart, and I mean that whole joint comes apart. And you gotta get a rebuild kit, and it's very annoying. So occasionally you had to check the front and rear ones, because it might line up just right to squeeze past the spring that they put on there, and the set screw may not be tight enough, so it would come off. So it's nice that these are dog bones and you don't have to worry about it. Diff access. With the B44 you have to take off, you're trying to get to the front diff, right? So you have to take off these two screws right here. Probably have to take off the shocks, either be up here or up here. Then you have to take off the chassis brace, which is these 5 screws right here. So then you take that off. Then you have to take the steering rack off, which is 1 screw. Then you have to take off 8 screws that keeps the diff housing lid on. Then finally you're at the diff. So I don't even know how many screws that was. Maybe I can put an annotation on. With this one, it's very simple. So you just take off these 2 screws right here, and then you take off these 2, and then 2 of them on the bottom, and you're inside, right? Other things, remember I was talking about CV joints for the center drive shafts and the pins coming out? The same thing would happen. The same thing could happen front and rear as well for the drive shafts that go to the wheels. So how they fixed that, they added a blue collar kind of a thing that slides over the whole mechanism. So there actually is no set screw, there's no Loctite, there's no nothing. It's just that sleeve slides on there, and it can't come off because the bearing and the steering block is right there. So you don't have to worry about the pin coming off. And with the rear, they use the B5M or the B6 rear hub carriers, so that bearing goes around where the pin is, where the pinhole is. So again, the pin can't come off because it's surrounded by the bearing, by the ball bearing. In the drive line area, there are no pins that can come out. Another thing that I really like that they put on the B6 is the screw down wing. Really like the screw down wing, because I kept on losing the little washers that are on the 44. I take a bad crash or something and the pin comes out, and then you lose that little washer thing, and now you got to get a whole new wing mount with new washers. But with this, you got screws. I mean, like this, that's not going anywhere. You don't have to have body mounts with this. I don't have any body mounts. I didn't put them in here, and I didn't put them back there, if you noticed in the building video. There's no body mounts because I like to Velcro my bodies. It's not something I always did, but once I did it with the B5M, I was addicted, so I just did it to all of them. And it's nice that this can do it because it has these tub chassis with these side skirts, so it just makes it super simple. You don't even have any holes to really line up. I just open it up, push it on both sides, bam, done. And it's not like you can pick the whole car up with just by the body. If your car's smoking, just makes it a whole lot easier to take the body off. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's everything that I found that I liked. Haven't driven this yet. Really excited to drive it. In the building video, I'm pretty sure I uploaded this one by now. I said that there's little shims that you put in the hinge pin up here, adjust your wheelbase. One of you guys said that they're on the tree, so I had to go through the trash, and this is the tree that they were on, and I didn't even notice it because yeah, a lot of the times you throw this piece away, so I just didn't even notice it. So you guys remember, make sure that if you get this, the front suspension arm tree thing that the suspension arms are attached to, these are your little washer thingies that I was talking about. So keep it and put them on there. So I gotta do that. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the driving video, and I will see you guys next week or at the track.